Hello students. Today we are going to learn chapter 6 of business studies, and that is staffing. Let's study part 1. See, we all know that foundation of any organization is of course dependent on its talented and hardworking people, and they are the asset of any organization. So it is very important that you have adequate staffing and the right person at the right place at the right time. So what is staffing? Staffing is putting the people to job, which means you are giving the responsibility and authority to those people who are capable of handling it. Now, staffing process is very important because it is believed that an organization can achieve its objective only when it has right person in the right position. So it is one of the managerial functions of filling and keeping the filled position in the organization structure. Now, of course, when you want to have a smooth functioning, you need to keep filling the spaces with the capable human resources. Now, it begins with the workforce, that is planning, and of course, it also includes the other functions like recruitment, selection, training, and development, promotion, compensation, performance appraisal. All these are part of your staffing activities. Now, let's understand why staffing is important. As I said, that human resources are the foundation of any business, and the right person at the right place can take your business to the top, and wrong person at the wrong place can break your business. So, staffing helps you in discovering and obtaining the competent person for various jobs. Now, when you have the right person at the right place, obviously it gives you a higher performance, better efficiency, and better work. So, staffing ensures that there is a continuous survival and growth of business. It helps you to ensure that there is maximum or optimum utilization of human resources. Now, obviously, when I want to expand my business or when I want to grow my business, when I want to earn my profit as an entrepreneur, I would definitely want the human resources which can help me to achieve my objective. So, by avoiding the overmanning, it prevents underutilization of resources, and it also saves your cost of production. Now, let's understand the staffing process. The first step or the first step in staffing process is you have to estimate the manpower requirement. When we say manpower, we are talking about the human resources which we would be requiring to accomplish the activity or operations of an organization. So you need to analyze workload and workforce as to it enables the assessment of number of types of human resources which are necessary for performance. Like let's say, for example, if my company is an advertising agency, obviously I would require more creative personnel or human resources. I would also need people who can handle my finance. I would also need people who can handle my marketing and sales. So I'll have to do the workload analysis as to what type of human resources are necessary for performing various jobs in my organization so that my objective can be achieved. At the same time, we also need to have workforce analysis, which means it estimates the number and the types of resources which are available. So your organization should neither be overstaffed nor understaffed. It should be optimally staffed. The second process in staffing is recruitment. Now, of course, recruitment is one of the most important activities because it is a process of searching a prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the job, which means that when we do advertisement or when we give advertisement, we are attracting the people to apply for various jobs. So recruitment can be done either internally or externally. When I say internally, the internal source of recruitment could be promoting, transferring, or promotion, transfer. All these are the activities which are done within the organization. We would be studying this in more detail in the later session. So recruitment, as I said, it is the process of searching the prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the job. For fresh talent and wider choice, of course, external sources are used. And when we say external sources, it means advertisement in various media, be it print media or be it visual media. The next process of staffing is selection. Now, selection is the process of choosing among the pool of prospective job candidates. See, there is a difference between recruitment and selection. Let me tell you. When I give an advertisement in a newspaper as to I'm looking out for, certain types of engineers, and by reading that advertisement, if 100 people apply for that job, that is the process of recruitment. Now the process of selection starts. That out of those 100 people, I'll try to shortlist the best one which are capable or which are matching with the job profile which I'm looking for. So that is selection. So selection is the process of choosing among the pool of prospective job candidates which is developed at the stage of recruitment. So those who are able to successfully negotiate the test and the interviews, they are obviously offered the employment contract. So after passing various interviews or various tests, all this test gives, it helps the organization to choose the better candidate. The next step is placement and orientation in staffing process. Now, once the recruitment is done, once you have selected a prospective candidate which is suitable for your job, next step comes the placement, which means the employee will occupy the position or the post for which he has been. The placement is done after we offer them the appointment letter or offer letter. Then when the employee joins, the most important thing is orientation, or we can also call it as induction, which means introducing the employee to the various other employees, employers, familiarizing him with the organization and with the rules and regulation, norms and culture of the organization. The next step in staffing process is training and development. Now, when we say training, it is a program which is organized by the organization so that they can develop the knowledge and skill in the employee as per the job requirement. We need to understand one thing here, that majority of the companies, they spend a lot on training and development, because the success of an organization depends on manpower. And if it is not suitable for the job profile, they won't be able to perform well, effectively or efficiently. So that is why many companies, they spend a lot of money on training and development of their manpower. Now, training could be different at different levels. Like, let's say, for example, for lower level of the workforce, that is workers or foremen, they might be given technical training so that they can handle all the machines well, efficiently. The top management or the middle management might be given training on various other aspects, like training them to handle the group. So all these trainings are given differently at different levels. We should also remember that development is again an organized activity in which manpower of the organization learn and grow. Because when there is no development, then the employee will not be motivated to work in the organization. So training and development is another process in staffing. The next one, or the next process in staffing, is performance appraisal. Obviously, when the employee works for a longer period of time, let's say a year or 2 years or 3 years, you need to appraise that employee. So analysis has to be done. Performance of employee has been over the year or years. So after the employee have undergone a period of training and after they have been on job for some time, there is of course a need to evaluate, to analyze their performance. So performance appraisal means evaluating an employee's current as against certain standards. Like let's say, for example, if target was given to X employee, if the X employee achieves that target in a year, which means his performance has been matching with the predetermined standard, but he has not been able to achieve that task. In fact, the performance is below average, not even 50% of the task is being completed, which means that the employee has not performed well. He has not been productive enough. So performance appraisal is another important step in staffing process. The next one is promotion and career planning. Now it becomes necessary for all the organizations to address the career related issues. They refer to being placed in position of increased responsibility. So they usually mean more pay, responsibility, and job satisfaction. If I'm working in your organization for 10 years, and in these 10 years, I have not got any promotion, no hike, no incentives, obviously there will not be any job satisfaction. So promotion and career planning is another important process in staffing. So you should motivate and encourage the employee to work more efficiently by providing them a good cordial working atmosphere or a good working culture, job satisfaction, and regular incentives. The next step in the process of staffing is compensation. We were just talking about satisfying the employee by giving them incentives, by giving them promotion in terms of wages and salary. That is compensation. So compensation refers to all forms of pay or reward which are going to be given to the employee. It may be either in the form of direct financial payment, like paying them the wages, salaries, incentives, commission, bonuses in form of payment, that is monetary terms, or it could be indirect payment, like you're giving the insurance of the employee and giving the insurance for his or her whole family, or sending them for a vacation with family. Now these are the compensations which are given indirectly nowadays in many modern organizations. So direct financial payments can be of two types, either time-based or performance-based. Now, if I'm giving compensation to the employee through direct financial payment itself, then it can be of two types, as I said. First is time-based, which means salary and wages are paid either daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. Time frame is decided. The second could be performance-based. Performance-based plans means salary and wages are paid according to piecework. In the earlier chapter, we had learned about differential piece wage rate system, wherein the more you produce, the more you would be paid. So you are paid on the basis of work the employee has completed. So performance-based plans means salary and wages which are paid according to the piecework. I hope you have understood the staffing process. Thank you very much.